Now then, time to talk. This is really interesting. Local businesses coming together and making a difference, helping people out and spreading the name of the Cotswolds in perhaps maybe a slightly different way. You may have heard mentioned on the station before, Rock the Cotswolds. It's an interesting thing that's been set up by Oli Christie, who is from Neon Play and is based there in the Cotswolds. Good to have you in the studio, Oli.
Hi,
how you
Claire.
doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Now, I know we've spoken about Rock the Cotswolds before, and this was your idea, wasn't it? This was a brainchild from you to get businesses involved.
Yes, the initial problem we had at Neon Play, we make mobile games, and we were hearing from recruitment companies that people didn't want to come to the Cotswolds and Cirencester to work because it was boring. They couldn't have a real life, nightlife, fun stuff, whatever it was. And it really frustrated me. So I thought I would start a social enterprise, not for profit. We called it Rock the Cotswolds. And the aim was to really put the cool into the Cotswolds, change perceptions that it's not a dull, tweedy place. There's loads of fun things going on here. Some incredible companies, events, festivals, products being made here. And champion that so that we can retain talent, because we've lost staff to Bristol, Brighton, London, but also to attract staff to all companies in the Cotswolds and to drive startups, investment, and also a different element of tourism, not just going to Bourton-on-the-Water and taking a photo on the bridge.
Is that something that it will never be able to shake because it's so picturesque, because it is a place where everybody has that dream of, I'll retire in the Cotswolds? Is it difficult to try and create an area that's not like that?
I'm hoping that the two can sit by side. There'll always be people who want to live here, and that's why one of the reasons I live here is because it's a beautiful place to live and bring up your kids, and tourists will come here for the beauty and the scenery and the villages. But I hope that we can also show that there's a different side to the Cotswolds, which is very unique, very different, very vibrant, creative, and make people think, wow, and be really surprised by that. And that's why we're doing these monthly rockers. We have 5 rockers a month.
So the rockers are the businesses, aren't they?
They're not just businesses, actually. Some of them are people, some of them are products, some of them are events or restaurants, bars, hotels, clubs. It's a real hybrid. There's a climbing wall in North Leach called Far Peak. It's an incredible outdoor 15-metre tower. It's a work of art in itself. And we've also done the Colour Fun Run, which happened this weekend at Cotswold Airport. So there's a whole variety of different things. Anything that you look at and you think, what, that's in the Cotswolds? Wow, that's cool, that's interesting, that's different, that's unique, and that's what we're trying to do. Yeah.
So who are the rockers then this month?
This month, well, we've got the Far Peak Climbing Tower, as I mentioned, and the Colour Fun Run. We've also got blood bikes, they're called. So this is a bunch of boys and girls who love doing motorbikes at weekends, but what they do in their own time and their own money is they transfer medical supplies and blood and milk from place to place. So they have the blue sirens wailing so they can get through, but they also do their favourite pastime, which is driving motorbikes.
Fantastic. And we talk about the Cotswolds, but how far out do you spread with this?
The Cotswolds, I know, it can go down to Bath. We keep it quite simple, and we just say it's Gloucestershire and West Oxfordshire. It's just our way of just having a simpler fence, so to speak. So it does include Gloucester, even though Gloucester isn't traditionally in the Cotswolds.
A few people may have seen pictures. I know there's been a lot in the local press, the papers, online as well, of the Colour Fun Run. Talk to us about this and how it all went.
So Cotswold Care Hospice run the Colour Fun Run, and they approached us and said, can you help get involved? And so for Rock the Cotswolds, this is a perfect thing. It wasn't just a normal fun run for charity, which is great. It was different. It was unique. So it was a bit like the Holi Festival in India. You went round the airfield. They had a plane flying over, pulling stunts as we started, and you got covered in paint powder as you went. They had some stations, yellow, pink, blue, green, red. It was just such fun. And it was a most glorious sunny day on Sunday, thank goodness. And it was just a really unique, fun, uplifting event and it was literally all shapes and sizes and ages. And I went with my 10, 8 and 4-year-old, and we sort of pootled around slowly, but got splattered in paint, and it was brilliant.
And good. I mean, you kind of spread these events out, don't you? Because there's more coming up in November.
Yes, we want to do a series of events. So And all our events are on our website, rockthecotswolds.com. And we're doing one in November called Creativity Rocks the Cotswolds, where we want to get together the biggest group of creative people from the world of advertising, product design, fashion design, jewelry design, artists, sculptors, tattoo artists, anyone with creativity in their bones, really. Come to the Wilson in Cheltenham, and you can register through our website. And just to show that there's this really vibrant community of people here, and that you don't need to be in London or in Shoreditch or one of the big cities to be creative, to run a creative company, just to work for a creative company, or just work by yourself as a freelancer or as an artist. And hopefully we can create a sort of pride, because I think there at times there's an apologetic sort of feeling of like, oh, we're in Cirencester, but we're really cool. It's
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but there should be a pride in the fact we live here, and that we're so lucky that we don't have to go in the tube every morning. That we can live in this most wonderful place and be creative, and it can inspire us with the fresh air and the lovely countryside.
And I mean, Cheltenham Racecourse getting on board with this.
Yeah, this was wonderful. Cheltenham Racecourse approached us directly, and they said they wanted to attract a younger audience to the racecourse. They know they'll get their traditional racegoers, and because they're very passionate, but they wanted us to help them attract people who've never been racing before and see that it's a great day out. So on the 12th and 13th of December at the racecourse during the international meeting, we are going to host a 2-day après ski party. So it'll fit 800 people each day in a big theme marquee, and we're going to have shot skis and waiters and waitresses and lederhosen, a jacuzzi, a photo booth. It'll be the most amazingly themed event during the race meeting and after it, and we hope that will really show that the racecourse isn't just full of stuffy as Tweedy types, it's also full of young cool people who want to have a great day out as well.
The focus surely has got to be on the young here, because they're the future of future businesses and ideas. Are we seeing enough of those people staying in this county?
Well, it's a big issue, and this is part of what we want to do. I've heard from the university that 33% of people leave the county and they'd like to stay here because they don't think there's the companies, the employment, and the sort of talented companies that suits their desires. So if we can show them that there's all this amazing stuff going on locally, you can be a creative person here, you can work for great engineering companies, innovators, it's all going here. But I think the thing we've done is bring it all together in one central hub. And on the Rock the Cotswolds website, you can see that through the rockers, through the events we're doing. And also, we've had some amazing quotes from people. I went to Downing Street and I met the Prime Minister, and we've got quotes from him from all colours of the political spectrum, and business leaders and celebrities. And so many people are behind it. And that's what's so wonderful, because we're also pulling in the same direction for something which hasn't really been championed before. And that's what we're trying to do.
What did Mr. Cameron make of it then?
He said it was great. I said to him, I'm doing this thing called Rock the Cotswolds because people think there's no real talent, and he said it's a hotbed of talent and creativity, the Cotswolds, and how right he was.
It's quite a good impression of him, actually. People can be nominated to be rockers, can't they? How do they do this?
Yes, they go to our website and they go on the nominate button, and then they can nominate anything. And you can nominate yourself, and you don't need 1,000 nominations. One will suffice. That's all you need. And then our panel of judges will go through those rocker nominations, and we're doing 5 a month. So we'd love people to suggest things which they think, whether it's a pub, a hotel, restaurant, an event, a festival, a charity event that's doing something differently, like the Colour Fun Run, but it has to be unique and not Cotswoldy. You need to look at it and think, wow, that's going on here. That's what we want.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you for coming in today. 2 things before you go, because I know you've been to the Cheltenham Literature Festival, haven't you?
Yes, I went last night. It was fantastic. I saw the Geoffrey Boycott event, and I'm also going to the Kevin Peterson one on Sunday, which should be dynamite. And I hope he's as honest as he's been in other interviews, because there's a lot of explosive stuff to come out of that.
Absolutely. How was Geoffrey?
Geoffrey was great, actually. It was really nice to see a slightly humble side to him. He was quite funny, but a lot of his book is actually about his fight with cancer. And it wasn't quite documented how bad he had it. And he had these, it was a 5-year battle, and he had these burns all over his body and having to change the bandages. And it was actually, he almost had a tear in his eye at one stage. It was actually lovely to see the different side to him, the sort of brash Yorkshireman that you see on TV and radio.
We'll enjoy Kevin Peterson this weekend. Finally, who's going to win the Bake Off?
I've never seen it in my life.
Oh, Ollie, I feared for that answer.
Who are the options?
Just say Nancy.
Nancy. I think Nancy's got a great chance.
There you go. Brilliant stuff. Ollie, it's great to have you in. Thanks so much. Appreciate your time. There we go. Oli Christie, founder of Rock the Cotswolds. You can find out more. Simply go online. It's rockthecotswolds.com, and wait for the big events which are coming up later on in November.